Most of us spend much of our lives in survival mode without even realizing it. Our nervous system is designed to protect us, and when we're stressed, overwhelmed, or triggered, it can hijack our thoughts, emotions, and actions. That's survival mode. Automatic, reactive, and often unconscious. Awareness, on the other hand, is the pause. It's noticing what's happening inside and around you without judgment. It's what allows us to respond with clarity instead of fear. Awareness starts with small, intentional decisions, noticing your breath, checking in with your body, observing your thoughts, and reflecting on your reactions. Awareness is the gateway to conscious living, choice, and resilience. It's where healing begins. For me, that journey began a long time ago. When I was 3, a traumatic head injury caused a hearing loss and speech impairment. Instead of being met with love, I was met with cruelty, mocked by the very people who hurt me. My childhood was marked by betrayal, grooming, all types of abuse, and medical labels that reinforced the message that I was broken. There was something wrong with me. And like so many of us, I've repeated the pattern. I married an older man, a lawyer, who was emotionally and physically abusive. I left him when our children were 3 and 1. He dragged me through the legal system for years, eventually taking custody of our children. My ex-husband wasn't just out for custody. He was out for revenge. Being a part of the court system made me realize how easily power can be abused, how voices of survivors are often minimized, and how justice isn't always about what's right. It's about who has influence. To this day, my ex-husband still remains aligned with my mother. And my mother, even into her 70s, has continued to stalk and harass me. It often feels like the chaos will never end. And yet, I'm still here. This is a Cliff Notes version of a much deeper story, one I'm writing into a trilogy of books. But the truth is, my life has been a constant search for healing and understanding. From occupational therapy to weightlifting to yoga and holistic health, I've always been trying to understand the body, mind, and soul. My path eventually led me to trauma-informed yoga, where something finally clicked. But before that awakening, I pushed myself past the edge. I ignored the signals my body was sending until one day, I completely burned out. I ran myself down to the point of a month-long fever that caused me to lose all of my hair. Losing my hair was devastating, and yet it was also symbolic. It was as if my life had stripped me bare, pruning me down to the roots, so something truer could grow. That loss became a living metaphor. Sometimes we have to shed what's been damaged in order to grow back stronger, deeper, and more resilient. From that moment on, I began to listen more deeply to my body. That listening became the doorway into reclaiming my body, my voice, and my life. From working as an occupational therapist, to owning a tanning salon, to opening a yoga studio, and to building a trauma-informed consulting business, I've woven every chapter of my story into a larger purpose. Along the way, I've birthed 2 children in the water with the support of a midwife and a doula. I've created trauma-informed and holistic continuing education programs for counselors, lawyers, and occupational therapists, with more projects in the works, bridging the gap between modern medicine and holistic healing. My work is recognized not only by Ohio boards, but by national boards too. And then there was the fire. December 17th, 2024. My house, my pets, and everything we owned burned to the ground. In the ashes, I saw clearly for the first time the life I was meant to live. That fire became the finale of an old story and the beginning of a new one. This podcast is for anyone walking through that fire, literal or metaphorical. Here, we create, we speak, we heal. This is the Resilient Grove, where resilience grows and healing blossoms. A grove is where trees grow together, intertwined, weathered, and wise. That's what this space represents. A gathering of resilient souls, rooted in lived experience and growing in community. Here, we are nourished by nervous system wisdom, trauma-informed tools, soulful storytelling, and holistic practices. I'm your host, Kelly Patrick. Welcome to the Resilient Grove.